Prometheus Cave. A tourist cave, one of Georgia's greatest attractions, full of beautiful formations offering a boat ride, and accessible to practically anyone who can manage a few stairs. Melouri Cave. It lies right next to it, and you can visit it too, but exploring it is a completely different story. It requires fitness, mental resilience, and practically an entire day. It may not be as beautiful, but the adventure of exploring it can be far greater. Let's compare visiting both caves. Perhaps this film will answer the question of which site will be better for you.
Or maybe you'll decide it's worth visiting both.
To reach Prometheus Cave, we drive to a convenient parking lot. From there, it's only a few steps to a nice air-conditioned pavilion and then down the stairs to the cave entrance. To get to Melouri Cave, we must drive up into the mountains in an off-road vehicle. Then hike almost half an hour through the forest over sometimes difficult terrain. After crossing several ravines and pushing through thickets, we finally descend slowly into a sinkhole where the cave entrance is located. That in itself is already a little expedition. In Prometheus Cave, we move along a comfortable, prepared path. In many places, special reinforcements have been made where something might crumble or fall from above. Sections going up and down are equipped with concrete stairs and metal railings on the sides. The passage through this cave poses no problem for any healthy person who can move around reasonably well. In Melouri Cave, many times we will need to crouch, lie down and crawl. We must climb up and down boulders. There is no single clear path, as in this type of cave. Although guides point the way, we ourselves must decide where to place our feet, what to hold on to, or how to squeeze through narrow passages. Where the spaces are larger, we often move across giant rocks and boulders, not all of them stable. You need to watch your steps. The dripstone formations in Prometheus Cave are magnificent. No wonder it was chosen to be open for mass tourism. Here we find all kinds of forms: stalactites, stalagmites, columns, flowstones and calcite cascades. Truly a feast for the eyes. And although it is not the most beautiful cave in the world, it certainly ranks among the prettier ones. The formations in Melouri Cave are not as impressive. There are some, but they appear only in certain places. However, viewing them, not necessarily from behind barriers, is a completely different experience. Sometimes we have to pass very close by them or even step on them. And apart from formations, we can observe many other fascinating phenomena. In Prometheus Cave, we don't need our own flashlight. Everything is brightly illuminated. Not only strongly, but even in colors, sometimes perhaps a bit too colorful. In any case, hundreds of spotlights are placed around the cave, allow tourists to see in full what is usually hidden by darkness. Before its discovery, it was of course pitch dark inside. It is completely different in Melouri Cave. Here darkness has reigned for hundreds of thousands of years. There are no cables, generators or floodlights. We see exactly as much as we light with our own flashlight. Of course, we use headlamps, since our hands are needed to hold on to the rocks. This way of exploring provides a completely different experience. And if our batteries run out, we are stuck in darkness. In Prometheus Cave, we must expect to walk in a group of at least several dozen people. Unless we come in late autumn or another season when there are no tourists, we must be prepared to walk shoulder to shoulder with a crowd, just like in the most popular tourist destinations during summer. In Melouri Cave, the group will be as large as the one we come with. And although sometimes in tighter passages we may have to wait for each other, a bigger concern is making sure not to get separated from the group. Of course, the guides will look after that. In some of the larger chambers with weaker light, you may even feel alone in silence, hearing only the dripping of water. Speaking of water, it is abundant in both caves. For an additional fee from Prometheus Cave, we can take a boat ride on a very long underground lake. It is not entirely natural. The water has been dammed. But still, it is a wonderful attraction worth trying. In Melouri Cave, we also encounter water, perhaps not enough to sail a boat, but often enough that our problem is avoiding filling our boots with it. In the final part of the cave, in a canyon, we walk all the time along a flowing river, which in places spreads into fairly large pools. We can try to cross them in two ways. Either by making various acrobatic moves to get across above, or simply decide to get wet and walk straight through. As for underground waterfalls, you just have to run through them. In Prometheus Cave, eating and drinking is strictly forbidden. No wonder. Imagine if everyone here started eating. In Melouri Cave, where we spend 5 to 7 hours inside, a meal is not only allowed but recommended and is a normal part of the trip. And not just any meal. Georgians are famous for their excellent cuisine and for celebrating food. So please enjoy. From Prometheus Cave we can take away fond memories of aesthetic impressions and a pleasant boat ride, but it is hard to speak of any particular satisfaction from the visit. What's missing here is emotion and a sense of effort. It is entirely different after exploring Melouri Cave, when after, say, 6 hours we finally approach the exit. We feel a huge sense of accomplishment. We simply feel that we have managed to achieve something truly special. The whole group smiles from ear to ear. And once we are in the area, it is worth, besides 1 or 2 caves, to visit other fantastic Georgian attractions. Highly recommended.